Welcome to the Oak Park River Forest Chamber of Commerce educational series, Social Media Mondays. My name is Kathy Yen, and today we're taking stock, choosing the right social media platform for your business. With all of the options out there, it's easy to get overwhelmed. So much to choose from. How do you decide what makes the most sense for your business? Today, let's understand those options. You have plenty of marketing opportunities at your fingertips, and it's important to find the right one to communicate your message. Not everything is going to work well for you. Establishing your own goals is key to choosing the right platform. I challenge you to get started. Choose the platform that makes the most sense and then commit to an action plan. It's not too different than going to the gym, is it? Set out your goals, commit to an exercise plan, and then start the hard work of building it into your routine. With social media, getting your head around what it is seems like the hard part, but that's not the challenge. The challenge is committing to do it consistently. It's easy to go to a gym. It's hard to go there 3 times a week. To get started, you'll need an internet connection and an email address. Before you start creating social media accounts, decide whether or not you want to use your personal email address, your business email, or create an entirely new one. If you'd like to create a new one, go ahead and do that on Google's Gmail or another platform. Nice to haves include a digital picture. Now, social media is increasingly moving towards visual images. I encourage you to have a digital picture of yourself, maybe a headshot, or if you're doing this on behalf of your company, some kind of digital logo file. When you set up your social media account, you'll set up a profile first, and it will ask you for a picture. You don't need it to proceed, but once you get going, you'll see that your messaging will lose its punch without some kind of picture. You can do the most of what we're talking about on a desktop or on a laptop, but the tech world is moving towards smartphones. Most social media platforms have both desktop and mobile applications for use on smartphones and tablets. The sooner you get going with your smartphone, the more fun you're going to have. And speaking of fun, if that smartphone has a camera, you'll get to use it quite a bit in social media and start building your own digital picture library for use when you post on various sites. A website is also not a need to have, but it's nice to have as a landing spot for your company or business, someplace to send potential customers when they want to learn more about your business. But the most important thing you need is time. And you really can't get around this one. Whether you can set aside an hour or 2 in one chunk each week or 20 minutes a day, you need time. Social media doesn't happen by itself. There's no autopilot, and only the larger businesses can pay someone to do it for them. Take stock of what you've got. Do you have your email address handy? A website you can use to link people to your business? Decide how much time you want to spend on this, and let's think about the social media you're currently using. Are you using any social media now? If you're not, that's okay. But if you are, let's think about what's working and what's not working for your business, and let's hope to fix that. Now, all of these little icons can seem overwhelming, but don't worry. You'll not need to master all of them. You probably don't even need to worry about most of them, in fact. As I said earlier, the tech and online world is moving towards visual imagery. Just a few years ago, everything was URL, as in what do you type into the browser? www.facebook.com, for example. That's no longer the case. Smartphones, tablets, the Apple operating systems, and now even Windows Tiles interface all use icons like these. Just like you'll click on the Word icon or the Excel icon on your desktop to get at Microsoft Office software, now you click on social media icons to access the various software platforms. And that's an important point. Social media is just software. It happens to be interactive and online, but it's software. So are you using any of these now? Or any of the dozens or dozens that I haven't listed here? If the answer is yes, take a moment to think about what is working and what is not working. If the answer is no, let's try to figure out which one is going to work for you. Before you can really decide what will work, you need to have a clear idea of what you want to achieve. What are your social media goals? It's tempting to want to do everything right away, but as you start out, choose one or at most two goals. Are you trying to build awareness for your company? Maybe just trying to get your name out there? Or are you more focused on reputation building, whether that's for your company's products and services or for yourself? Maybe you're wanting to build yourself as an expert in your field, or maybe promote the uniqueness of your food, your restaurant, your approach to healthcare, maybe your customer service. Maybe you're specifically looking to build relationships with customers and maybe potential referral sources. Or are you hoping for online sales? Is this social media effort part of an e-commerce strategy? And maybe you just want a platform to vent, to share, to have some fun, and post pictures of your pets. That's okay too. It goes a long way towards building your online persona. If goal setting involves understanding what you want to communicate, the natural second question is communicate to whom? What is your target market? You have to know who they are before you choose a platform based on where they are. What do I mean by that? Well, let's get specific. Here are a few demographics that may describe some features of your target market. Gender, age, interest, buying habits, how they know you. Let's talk about them. If you're going after a male demographic, Google Plus skews heavily male right now. On the other hand, over 80% of people on Pinterest are female. Over 60% of people on Facebook are female. So if you're looking to target customers who are female, you might look at Facebook and Pinterest, and male you'd go after Google Plus. Maybe age is important to you. Facebook and LinkedIn both have an older demographic than, say, Vine, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and Tumblr. These all skew younger. This makes sense if you think about it. Facebook used to be for college students, but the younger folks moved off Facebook once they got to know that their mom and their grandma was checking all their posts. Now you'll find them on Twitter, Snapchat, and some of these other things. Are you looking to build your reputation with your friends? Maybe make connections there. Facebook, the world leader in networking, is the place to go. But if you're looking for your peers, they're probably on LinkedIn or Google+. Both of these tend to be a little bit more oriented towards business groups. If you're after the mass market, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and Twitter are the way to go. These all have large followings of just regular people who are posting things that are just interesting or fun for them. But if you're a B2B person looking to sell professional services, LinkedIn is the way to go, the largest networking software for professionals right now, or a blogging software like WordPress or perhaps Blogspot or any of the other ones. Blogging is a good way to get more traction with the professionals you're looking to sell to as you build your own online expertise reputation. Google Plus kind of falls in between. Obviously owned by Google, they've got a huge B2C reach, but Google Plus right now is currently doing well in the B2B sphere. Keep an eye on that as a place you might be able to attract both B2C and B2B customers. If you're more interested in a very specific industry group or an interest group, LinkedIn is a good place for that. Pinterest does a great job of finding wedding planners, web designers, anything, food caterers, anything with visual imagery, interior design. WordPress or any of the blogging softwares is often organized, or at least followings are based on topic or interest group. YouTube has a great subscription channel feature where people interested in a specific topic or industry will come together to create a community. And then, as we said before, Google Plus, when we talked about peers and peer networking, Google Plus does a nice job of organizing by what they call circles, but that's interest group. MySpace, even still alive, this is really, really strong in the entertainment field. So there are so many to choose from, but if you look to see where your target demographic is, it may help you find where the appropriate platform is for you to start your social media. We like to say social media as if it is one giant behemoth, but really it's a huge category of communication. You're disseminating some kind of media or information or content through social channels. So let's focus on what exactly you want to share with people. What types of things are you trying to communicate? What do I mean by that? Well, here are 6 general categories of media or content types. And you're going to see there's lots of overlap as platforms incorporate as many bells and whistles as possible into their various platforms. But let's just talk about who does what best. The most basic is short text. Now, Snapchat is something that is almost primarily teens and college students right now, but this is a messaging software, so it's sending messages to your group of friends. LinkedIn is also a good place to post short text updates on your industry or things that might be going on in your business. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, I've grouped them all up here because they do a fabulous job of giving you a platform to post short updates, but I've put them here intentionally because all 3 of them are also very, very good right now at allowing you to attach a picture. You'll hear picture over and over. As I said, social media is moving towards more visual imagery. Facebook, Twitter, and Google+ gives you the opportunity to post that short text with a picture. You don't need the picture, but it does give a little bit more punch to your post, if you will. And then there are the picture experts. Flickr is the industry leader here on just sharing pictures. Pinterest and Instagram are both image-based. So if your business relies on visual imagery, these are going to be the ones that are going to work really, really well for you. These are image platforms, even though you can add some text and links. Now, the opposite of short text, of course, is the long text, and by that I mean a blog. Here I've got the icon for WordPress, but you can post a blog on your website without a social media platform. You can just post it on your website, or maybe through Blogspot, Blogger, Squarespace, Weebly, or any of the many blogging platforms. It doesn't really matter which one. Typically a blog is an essay, a couple of paragraphs. If that sounds like too much for you, but you want to move beyond the short posts of Twitter's only 140 characters, Facebook a little bit longer than that, Tumblr might be a good solution for you. Tumblr is a mini blog platform, about halfway between a short text post and a more traditional long form blog. Now, if you don't want to create your own content, links are another option. Links is a way to share other folks' content just by linking, posting links in your social media to other people's content. The big 4 do this really well. Google+, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, all really, really good at posting a link somewhere else and sharing that with your following. Video, growing and growing. YouTube is obviously the king, but Facebook, Vine, and Instagram are all doing a good job as well, allowing you to post shorter videos. If you've got kind of a slick or longer video, you're going to go to YouTube. These 3, Facebook, Vine, and Instagram, allow you to post shorter ones that, frankly, you can just take with your phone. Podcast is the audio version. It's increasing in popularity. It's easier and easier to post podcasts and access them. You can be part of a podcasting platform. Maybe you can offer them through iTunes, or you can just post a link to an audio file on your blog. So again, lots of different things to consider here, but when you break it down by deciding first what you want to promote, whether it's a link, long text, a photo, an audio file, decide that first, then it becomes easier to determine where exactly you should focus your efforts. Where should you post? Well, you probably are getting close to an answer already after thinking through where your target market is and what types of content you have. But let's focus on the social part of social media before you commit. Which platform will create the kinds of social interactions you want? Which one will create the information sharing you need to get your message across to the people who need it? There are lots of types of platforms, and this is where it gets a little complicated. Although now many platforms do many things, they each, at their core, do one or two things really well. Let's talk through that now. This slide is really about what the various social media platforms do. Let's start with messaging. Simply put, this is sending messages back and forth between a group of folks, whether they're people who follow you, friends, or an individual. Snapchat would be the first example. That's all they do. This is a messaging social media. Twitter also has some messaging features, as does Facebook. Twitter's a little bit better for business. The messaging in Facebook tends to be between friends. Facebook, I've got up here for community. Now, by community, I really mean networking group. And Facebook, again, we've said this before, is the largest in the world. Huge community of friends and followers who are, you can say networking, but networking in the social sense, just kind of posting updates so everybody can see. Twitter, same thing. I've got that under community because indeed that's what it does, but Twitter's really big advantage is that it's just a constant news feed of updates from all of the people that you follow. LinkedIn obviously is a networking software. That's building community, building networks around professional connections. Google Plus is the same thing. I've got these over here next to forum. By forum, I mean a place where you can actually have online conversations about specific issues. In community and networking, here you're just posting updates. In a forum, you may actually pose a question and get some engagement around that question. Forums are good if you're creating a reputation as an expert because you can come into these forums and try to answer them. Facebook's got a little bit of a forum or group organization. It's not as great. The Facebook groups really tend to be organized around more social get-togethers or social groups or educational groups in schools and what have you, rather than the more industry-aligned forums that you'll find in Google Plus and LinkedIn. Without even creating a whole profile, you could actually engage in the Yahoo forum as well, or other forums like it. These do a nice job of interacting in sort of a Q&A format around various topics. So that's all the networking and sort of forum-based groups. Let's move for a minute to photo. Flickr is your big photo sharing social media, and this is almost really artistically. You post a lot of photos and folks can share them, look at them, admire them, that sort of thing. More of a business based photo sharing social media platform would be Pinterest, and then Instagram right behind it. Both of these are organized entirely around images, and in Pinterest it's photos and images that are pinned to various bulletin boards. Instagram, obviously, the camera icon here gives you an indication that this is going to be photos and images as well. These have a little bit more of a business perspective because you'll link them to businesses and websites and what have you. and they're very, very good at businesses who are going to succeed by showing an image of their product. Facebook and Twitter, I'll say, have built some pretty nice photo sharing functionality into their platforms as well. And again, we'll continue to talk about visual imagery. You don't need an image to be on Twitter or to be on Facebook, but you will attract way more eyeballs with a photo than you will for simple text. Snapchat, we talked about that as messaging software. I'll throw it in here because it's also a way for you to send a photo to your group. Know that Snapchat right now is not big for businesses, but I keep including it because I know most of us who have teenagers will hear about Snapchat quite often because they're on it quite a bit. So those are the photo sharing. I want to move into review social media platforms. This is when the public will go online and post a review of your business. This is really important in the B2C market, very important for restaurants, for retailers. I've left Instagram up here because Instagram is a place where someone will go into your shop, take a photo, and then post a comment as to whether or not they were pleased with the service, or they liked the meal, or they liked the dress, or whatever they happen to be looking at. Obviously, Yelp is going to be one of the most famous of the review softwares. I could also be putting on TripAdvisor, OpenTable, any of those that businesses should be keeping an eye on, just to make sure that people are posting good reviews, and if they're not, to address them. Foursquare is another platform where people can post reviews with pictures, with or without pictures, but another place where you will want to monitor and be active if indeed you're in the B2C market. Now I've got that on location-based here. Facebook is another one. These location-based software packages, or social media platforms I should say, allow you to check in. So using your mobile phone, you can be at a place of business. If you have your phone enabled for GPS settings, it will find you and it will say, hey, you seem to be at such and such a business. Do you want to check in? That then broadcasts to your entire social network that people or that you are in that specific business. Then you can go ahead and post a photo if you'd like. Maybe you can post a review of the business. Now, interestingly, businesses are using location-based social media platforms to give deals or coupons or contests. In fact, I was in a Japanese restaurant just the other day where, while you're at your table, if you actually post it online that you were at that restaurant, they gave you a free appetizer right on the spot. So that was interesting. Basically, it gave them, for the price of $2.95 appetizer, the ability to have me tell my entire network that I was at that particular restaurant. So that was kind of interesting. So those are kind of the main B2C location and photo sharing. Let's move for a minute to the blog world. WordPress, again, this could be Weebly or Blogger or any of the other blog softwares. WordPress is your long form blog. Tumblr is your short form blog. These are really, really good for creating a community around specific topics you like to talk about, whether that's specific to your industry or maybe specific to the kind of customer that you're serving. Maybe it's seniors or healthcare or foodies, what have you. If you're going down the vlog, now that's just the video version of a blog. YouTube will be the long form, and Vine is the short form, along with Facebook and Instagram. These all are going to be a little bit more of a commercial, if you will, with WordPress or your major long form blogs should be fairly polished writing. YouTube, you'll want it to be pretty slick. Some of these other softwares, they can be a little bit more casual, a little bit more on the fly. The last form we're going to talk about is, I've got the word aggregator. By that I mean a social media platform that collects news sites or feeds from other sites. These are ones that you'll often see if you happen to be reading an article online, maybe from New York Times or Huffington Post, Wall Street Journal, wherever, and you'll see a whole bunch of little links at the bottom. Some of them look like this: Stumble Upon, Dig, Reddit, RSS. These are all social media platforms that rate or rank or create feeds of news sources. So it allows you to pull together information that you find particularly relevant or particularly important. Its business application is mostly if you're trying to create a reputation of yourself as an expert or someone who has sort of their finger on the pulse of an industry, is following various news articles. This will show the public what news, what articles, what, in this case HubSpot, what blogs are important to you. These are all public facing. It's not really the same, but I'm going to add here Hootsuite. It could be Hootsuite, TweetDeck, what have you. These are content aggregators that are private and allow you to pull feeds in from all the other social media platforms to one site that you can see just for monitoring purposes. And this also helps you schedule your own social media postings across various platforms. So tons of them. Again, it can be very overwhelming when looked at it like this. But think about what you're trying to accomplish and how you want people to interact with your content. That will definitely lead you in a direction of which social media platform to use. Quick little warning, with Facebook, with Google+, with Yelp, YouTube, LinkedIn, they have a different format for business pages versus personal pages. So we'll go into that in other Social Media Monday conversations when we talk about specific platforms. But just know that when you set up your account on many of the platforms, it doesn't matter whether you're a business or an individual. However, for a few of them, especially these ones that I've got listed here, those with strong networking capabilities or the ability, like in Yelp, to post business reviews, they make it tricky to establish yourself as a business. In Facebook, for example, a person has a profile on a wall, but a business has a page. This is not insurmountable, but if you're choosing one of these as your primary social media channel, and your focal point, you'll need to just be aware of those nuances. Okay, how often should you post? One last thing, and we're right back to time, aren't we? You need to set aside time, and you need to be consistent within the expectations of that platform. So each platform has almost an implicit calendar of when audiences are expecting to hear from you. Twitter, for example, is a constant stream of information for news junkies. If you don't commit to posting 3 to 5 times every day, your message is going to be lost and you will not reach your audience. Is that too often? Can you do once a day? The image-based platforms are going to look for once-a-day postings, your Instagram and your Pinterest. Now, it doesn't always have to be you posting content, but you should get on Pinterest at least once a day, and maybe you've repinned someone else's content or shared or what have you. The same with Instagram. Maybe you've liked it. These require once-a-day interaction. Facebook, the big daddy. For a business, look for 2 to 4 posts per week at minimum. Same with Google+. And now Vine and Tumblr, although blog and video tends to suggest that you don't have to post as much, because these are short form media formats, your audience for these are going to expect more frequent posts. So look for 2 to 4 times a week. Now the LinkedIn, because of the way the older audience, the professional audience, interacts with LinkedIn, you can get away with 1 to 2 posts a week. That will be enough for folks to really see and follow what you're posting there. The longer formats of blogging, maybe it's video, You can get away with twice a month here. Of course, if you can do more, that's great. But since people are expecting really, as I said earlier, somewhat polished blog or a polished video on YouTube, twice a month is going to be an appropriate posting schedule. So, choose your platform, commit to your plan, and let's get going. Open an account, create a profile, start some basic connections, and by that I mean friend people if you're on Facebook, follow people if you're on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, pin on Pinterest, subscribe to YouTube, create circles on Google+. Play around with it a little bit, but see who's out there and start making your connections. Now, regardless of how big you are out of the gate on those connections, set your posting schedule and keep to it. Start creating content. Develop content along the lines of whatever the medium was. Was it photos? Was it videos? Was it short text, blogs, whatever? Develop that content. Work on that. Start practicing. Eventually, you're going to feel good about it, and will start wanting to see more distribution of your content via other means, encouraging fans to follow you on Facebook, for example, or view your LinkedIn profile. But number 5, distribute. Don't worry about that yet. That's stage 2. For now, set up your account, create your profile, build your connections, and let's go on the content. Later, when you've really got a nice social media consistency going, you can really begin to engage in the platform, in the community, and that's really the fun of it. That's the social part of social media. This month, let's set some tasks. Start simple. Right now, today, this week, set up an account, or if you already have one, update your profile. Pick your platform and let's get going. Next week, start creating your connections. Start making those links with people already on that platform. And then in weeks 3 and 4, practice posting your content. Commit to this schedule and keep to it. This is going to be where the real payoff is, when you have consistent content that is in keeping with the kinds of content on that platform, the kinds of content your potential customers are looking for. We've covered lots of ground, and it'll take some time to process it, I'm sure. If you'd like a copy of these slides, you can go to our website, www.oprfchamber.org, and look under the Events tab and the Education page, and you'll see a link to the slides. You'll also see a link there to a YouTube video where you can listen and view this presentation in a webinar format. Chamber of Commerce members can also take advantage of our website and social media tutoring, which happens once a month. Look for those on our event schedule. If you're looking for a classroom experience, you can find more in-depth instruction at Triton, which offers social media classes, and the Small Business Association frequently offers classes as well. You may be interested in hiring a coach or marketing expert. That would be well worth the investment if you're looking for very individualized instruction on how to proceed. There are plenty of free online resources as well, and you'll find local meetup groups often talking about social media. Once you're ready for the next topic, the Oak Park River Forest Chamber of Commerce Social Media Mondays will continue on the first Monday of each month. Look for our calendar online under our events page. And with that, a little focus, some commitment, and some time, eventually, you'll make social media work for you wherever it is you choose to do business. Thanks for listening, and good luck with your social media plan.